Every morning between 9:30 and 11, I use one tool to avoid chop and get a clear read on my daily bias. I'm Colin, and for the last 6 years, I've been refining my trading strategies that I call the Trinity model. It's helped me secure $650,000 in prop firm funding and multiple payouts. In this video, I'm going to show you how I use the OHLC stat map to time clear entries, filter out garbage setups, and trade with confidence day in and day out. Let me show you how it works.
All right, so I'd like to introduce you guys to the OHLC stat map. This is an indicator created by Joshu and 2 Degrees that I pretty much use every single day. The way it works is super simple. I'll just describe it really quick. So if I go on my daily chart real quick and I zoom all the way out, I'm on the premium trading view plan, so I have quite a bit of look back data. It goes all the way back to July of 1999. And essentially, what the OHLC stat map does, or the way that I have it set up anyway, is it takes all of that available look back data and uses both time and price to automatically draw out these manipulation levels. Now, the way I have it set up is I use my daily time frame because I'm trying to use it for my daily bias, right? So we don't want to have it on like the 4 hour or the 1 hour. I have it on my daily time frame. These are bigger just because I have it's easier to see. If you lower these to like 1, it just makes the lines thinner. Make these larger so that you guys can see them. And then I use midnight open because we want to catch the London manipulation with this indicator instead of, say, Asia. So I have it set to midnight open, and then obviously maximum look back so I get all of my available trading view plans data in one indicator. If I go back to midnight open, as you can see, these levels are automatically drawn out. If I go to the previous day, there'll be different levels because the day before had. So as you can see, these are the previous day's levels. But skipping ahead into midnight open. So the way I use these is super simple for my bias. All I'm doing is looking for the first manipulation level that we get tagged to be respected. That's going to be my bias. So let's say our bearish manipulation level gets tagged. It gets respected, i.e. it gets closed below. That's going to be my bias. My bias is going to be bearish for the rest of the day to target midnight open, the bullish manipulation level, and the opposing bearish distribution level on the stat map. If we open and tag the bullish manipulation level first, and we are in fact bullish, which means we respect this level and close back above it, then I'm going to take that trade out and target midnight open, bearish manipulation, and the opposing bullish distribution level. Let's take a look at this day, for example. We open, this is on the hourly chart, but this is still a daily projection. We open, we come down, we tag our bullish manipulation level, and as you can see, we kind of form an order block right here on that level. But if I hop down to the 15-minute, it's easier to see. We form 2 15-minute inversion gaps down here, which is a form of closing back above that level, right? So like this. First of all, it created a BPR right here, small BPR in this area, and then these 2 inversions back just below our bullish manipulation level. And as you can see, if I replay back just before 9:30, this is where we were sitting. So market opens at 9:30. So what I'm going to do here is hop down to my 1 minute. And as you can see, we're kind of sitting right on that level. Let me put this at current bar so that you can see the data a little bit up close. So here's our bullish manipulation level. We tagged it here, retraced back into this 15-minute gap. And if you'll remember, the model calls for a high time frame fair value gap. And since I'm bullish because we hit the bullish manipulation level, I am obviously looking for these 2 15-minute inversions. We tag this 15-minute inversion right here. We form SMT with ES. If I pull up ES in the same spot, you'll see we had SMT between this low, and NQ formed higher lows. All this has been good. We have a high time frame gap, we have SMT right here, and we have an inversion gap right here. And if you'll notice, let me pull up the macro tracker real quick. This all occurred during our macro, our 920 to 940 macro. Tagged the gap, formed SMT, and inversed this 1 minute gap during the macro. So that's a valid setup. The thing here, this is the 929 candle. So I don't want to enter this trade before the actual bell rings, like the market opens. So what I'm going to do is simply have a stop order above this high to confirm that we're going to continue that bullish order flow. And I'll just target midnight open and our bearish manipulation level. Let's see how this plays. So market opens, we get tagged in. There's our midnight open. And there's our bearish manipulation level. And that is a 6.9 risk to reward right off the opening bell. So that's how I use the OHLC stat map. I get my narrative and then I apply it in the trade. So let's look at a bearish example real quick and go for that. So here we have a really good example of what happens when the manipulation level gets disrespected. So if a manipulation level gets disrespected during the morning, i.e. it closes above it and does not continue back below, then what we do is we use the distribution level instead. So as you can see here, we traded higher past this manipulation level, traded back into it, used it as support, and traded it all the way up to our distribution level. Here on the hourly chart, we're wicking that distribution level. So let's go look at how we can use this distribution level to take a short. Hop down to our lower time frame. Here's our distribution level. Let's see if there's any fair value here. As you can see, if I zoom in a bit, we have this 15-minute fair value gap right here. Okay, so as you can see, body's staying within that gap. This one closed outside and then formed an order block back down, so no worries there. And then your entry would be during the macro, right? So let's go start of the macro, and I don't think we have any fair value gaps to be inversed here. Doesn't look that way. Actually, we have 4 minute. Actually, we did retrace into it, so we can use this 4 minute gap. Let's draw this out and let's look. Anytime we form an inverse outside of a macro, we still want to wait for the macro to enter. And what I'll do here is simply wait for the retag of that gap, which happens right here. We respect consequent encroachment. Nothing gets closed inside of that gap, and then we trade back out. Okay, so let's look for SMT, which we have at these two highs, right? We have a lower high and a higher high on NQ, whereas ES had that higher high and lower high in the same spot. So we have our bullish distribution level. We have a 15-minute fair value gap. We have SMT at the highs, and we have an inversion gap that's being respected during a macro. This is going to become our entry. Our stop goes above this high. Our standard deviation is going to go all the way at this low right here. We're going to go break even at -1 and target our bearish manipulation level. Still respecting that 15-minute gap. There's -1. Now we can go break even. Let's see if that plays. There we go. -1.5 got hit. Take a trim at -2. Right here. -3 is your next trim. And there you go. There's your bearish manipulation level, and midnight open might even get hit, which it did. Let's see if bullish manipulation gets hit. I don't think it did on this day. No. So all the way down to midnight open, that's a 6.5R. So that's what we do whenever a manipulation level gets disrespected. We simply go and wait for the distribution level to get tagged, and then we can use that for shorts instead. Okay, now this also applies to bullish setups, which I showed prior. I use the OHLC stat map in my everyday trading. It's amazing, and I can't get enough of it. It helps me find my bias. It helps me avoid bad days. If we don't hit any of the manipulation levels, or if anything is getting disrespected, I just don't trade that day, so it makes things a lot easier. I've also got spots open for a one-on-one mentorship. I have a lot of good students in there right now, but I still have spots open for more. So if you guys are interested in applying for that mentorship, because it is an application process, all you have to do is click the link in the description and you can book an interview. I'll also leave the link in the description for 20% off the OHLC stat map with my code. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to like and subscribe. If you have any content ideas for me for the future, just leave a comment and I will reply to it and hopefully make that video soon. Thank you all, much love, and peace.